Hey guys, this video is from our last game of the season, which was against Blazers. I'm going to cover these four things very quickly. Then I'll go over to D2D support a little bit more, and the bulk of this will be about breakouts, of course, my favorite topic. The reason why I go over this a lot too is because, well, we keep screwing it up. Right, so it needs some reinforcing for sure. Let's start with the face-offs in the defensive zone. I don't know why we keep screwing this up. It's really simple. We want four guys on the line. We want our defense next to this white jersey so that he just doesn't get a shot right off the bat. Now, you shouldn't be lining up in front of the goalie, Max. You want to be right in front of him. Winger on the outside. I won't draw all the assignments, but real quick, winger, if we lose, you're going to cover this quarter of the ice, this whole area. And if we win, you go straight to the board. Centers, do not line up until we are ready. We're not in the right positions. You got to say something. Everyone else, any of the other four can say something. Hey, Max, scoot up. I don't know why we keep screwing that. It's really easy. Line up properly, guys. So same thing here. We have our winger next to him. Winger, you're on the outside. Max, scoot up to him. And then 10 seconds later, right after I think Tyler just covers it or whatever. Go back just a little bit. Same thing, except Carter's on the other side. Talk. Somebody say something. There's no way all five of you don't know how to line up. Alright. Let's get this right, guys. Four guys on a line, one behind. Same problem here. Max is too far back. I know they have six. Doesn't really change anything. Four on line. As a reminder, centers, do not win it towards our goalie. This scares me. Clean win by Nolan, but right to the goalie. Alright. Now, I haven't talked a whole lot about face-offs on the PK, but we're going to have four on a line. So in this case, center, and we'll have a D here. Winger will be on the outside, and then the other D will be here instead of here. We're going to skip this guy. So let's have four on a line. Okay. So let's just show it real fast. So this one's even worse. We have two guys on the line. And again, on the last play, as a reminder, Matthias, don't win into the middle, please. Right, it's always scaring me. Right, this face-off line's a little better, but Nico, you're always going to be on the outside. Right, I want that D to be here. Alright, let's move on to stopping cherry pickers. This should be really quick also. Right here, it's less consequential because it's Xander, who's the last guy back. But still, it's a good habit to not let a white jersey be the last guy back. So he fell over, and you guys just skated past him. You know there's somebody behind you, and that's okay if you guys know that. But it looks like you're completely unaware. If I were Xander, I would just sit back here. I don't even know why I would come back. Just let my guys play 5-on-4. If they can get it to him, then he gets a breakaway. It's also very important to know player tendencies. Matthew Hahn, I've told you about him before, and I said in the locker room, I believe, he tends to always cherry pick, or not always, but tends to cherry pick a lot. So you see a white jersey in the corner right past you, alarm bells need to go off. Luckily, Max is kind of watching, but Max go more towards him. I want you right in his face the second he touches it. So as long as you guys are communicating and Max says, I got him, that's fine. But, I don't know, it doesn't... Okay, I think he picked it up there. Again, Max, instead of skating backward, just go right to Matthew. And why give him the pass to begin with? And I'll talk more about this in your video, but don't even skate backward. It's totally unnecessary there. Just skate forward with him. Just stay glued to the guy right here. I would just hold his hand right here. Stand right there. They pass it, I'll pick it off. Or I'll just stick with them right after, and I'll skate this way. I'm going to start at this point here, where I believe we're on a PK. This is why we only have four skaters out. Puck goes out, and I believe that's Matthew. All the way on that side, just all by himself. Still not super threatening. Now I'm getting a little bit nervous because that squirts out. He's going to basically beat you guys to the middle. So I'm starting to get a little nervous. But fine. Now I'm very nervous. Nobody's even looking at him now. they send that right away. If you zip that quickly, we're screwed. One player should always be in the middle, in the back. You should be watching him. Inconsequential. It's not like anything comes out of it. Watch. So Mason skates out. Good way to pay attention. Now, one thing I also want to talk about, if there's a guy cherry picking, do you want to cover the passing lane or should you just play behind him? So my thoughts are, in general, I'd rather have you play behind the guy, because if they launch a pass, like let's say Nolan's not even there. If they launch a pass, if you miss it, you're screwed. This guy will have a breakaway. If you get the puck, well, then all we did was stop a breakaway. You have one guy against, there are 3 or 4 players. If you play behind him, there's basically no chance he will get a breakaway. So most of the times, I prefer to play behind him. Some people will cover the passing lane. But you better get it. If that puck goes in the air, it bounces, whatever, you have to stop it. And lastly, this is on our 5-on-3. And the funny thing about this is, look who it is. Oh, it's Matthew. What a surprise. Again, you guys getting past that white jersey, you guys start to get nervous. Just play right behind him. And this is almost a carbon copy, just kind of funny. And Mason, good job. But go more towards him. Just go more towards him. As soon as he touches it, you're on his stick. That way he can't even skate in. And Nolan barely stopped it. Again, too far. I'll talk about gap control real fast, but too far. Just get right next to him. Next, let's move on to gap control. There's a lot of times we can talk about gap control, but this first one, once that puck leaves the blue line, and a lot of teams do this, I don't know why, and same with my older team. These guys are way behind the blue line. There's no reason to be. There's offsides in this league, so make them go offside. Sorry, let me back up just a little bit, but basically, alright, so the puck left the zone. I should have played from here. Once it leaves that zone, I want you guys to step way up. At the very close, like, the farthest you should be is this, whatever that sign is right there. But most of the time, you should be at the blue line and be right on the guy. There's, like, why leave him wide open? So like here, right? Our guys are too far, so they have an easy pass to Alex, and he can just walk right in. And we see these guys already backing off. Just step right up to him. I see every team do this. I don't know why. I don't let other teams do this. Just give them the puck for free and walk past our blue line. This is our house. Don't let people in your house for free. Don't just let them walk in. Get them out of your house. Keep the puck out of there. Alright, and similar situation here, although it didn't go out of the blue line necessarily, but we see 1, 2, 3, 4 white jerseys, and the 5th one here. Of course, it's Matthew. What I would do is have one D here, and the other D right next to this guy. Why give them all this room to walk in? Again, don't let them just walk into your house. So they botched the pass here, which is fortunate for us, but look at this. So I'm glad you stepped up, but if he makes a deke around you, then you're beat. So ideally, if you're next to him, you're already skating that way. So the angle would be much better. But I'm glad you stepped up. So if that pass is clean, Matthew walks in for free. Easily. So, Hancock, just stand right next to him. Just stand next to him so that if he tries to pass it, you're just going to pick it off right away. As long as you're angling this way too, guys. You're not, like what Max said, you're not just attacking straight at them, okay? Then they might make a move around you. Alright, so nothing happened because it just went off his foot, whatever. But, it's a pretty easy entry if they just got the pass through. I forgot to include this part about picking up the second man. So we'll attack this on real fast. Second, third, fourth man, it doesn't matter. What that means, as you'll see here. Alright, so Alex skates it all the way in. So he gets, Carter's last line of defense here. But it's important to not just give up here. Maybe you can't catch Alex, but catch the second guy. Somebody else, catch this third guy. Don't let them outnumber us. You can't just give up on it because, as you'll see here, gets a shot off, and then Matthew's wide open by himself. And it was just a hair, just a split second. If you just skate it hard, from, Mason, if you skate it hard from here to Matthew right away, you would have got a stick. Tyler had to make 2 excellent saves right there, and he bailed us out. All right, this next play was off a face-off, but what happened was, all right, so Nolan gets a puck, and great back check, Max. Great back check. All right, you caught one of the fastest players in this league, but you let up. You let up just a little right there. So Carter has this guy. He's not going to get beat, but they almost got it to Nolan. Pick up that second guy, and if they're even smarter, they would have just used the third guy. You guys can't get outnumbered. In this case, it's 5-on-4, so obviously you're going to get outnumbered 5-on-4. But this is where, from this point, you have to keep skating with them. You don't let up. All right, I'm glad you caught it, though. You barely caught it. But third guy, same thing. There you go. You got to catch extra white jersey. Somebody. Hustle hard. Alright, so I'll shorten this video and just finish up this D2D support part. Going to breakouts, possibly another one. But let's start with this from our last game. A couple of them from our last game. Right, the glaring goals we gave up. So Mason gets it here. And so the D2D support, this is why whoever has the puck should not be the last guy back. Alright, I know Mason, we all know he messed up. Okay, he coughed it up. But Connor, you should have already been going back, not forward. That's a pretty natural tendency I see a lot of players do. You guys could have helped them too. Like, Matthias, we'll talk about your skating route too, but try not to skate backwards as you get a pass. That's usually not effective. All right, so that's not just on Connor. Any one of you could have kept going back. I think Mason's confused who to pass it to, and I don't blame him. It's like, okay, who do I pass it to? Who do I pass it to? And it kind of just went off his stick. Next, I'm sure you guys remember this play. Connor, I hate to put you on blast, but just a few times. Alright, so this is less about D2D support, but more about, that's why you don't handle it as last guy back. We only notice these things when we screw up, right? But I also notice them when we don't screw up. When we don't screw up, then nobody thinks anything of it, right? But it's important to not have these habits. The best play, you just get rid of it. Just rim it. Rim it, no one's going to the board. That absolute best play. Okay, James from last season did this all the time, and it drove me nuts. I just wish he got picked off so he'd start learning to stop doing that. And so this is the other blunder from last game with just a few seconds left. Alright, so already, last guy with the puck. I'm already feeling a little nervous. I'd rather have you just retreat. Again, Max. Or other D. D to D support. Most important thing. Instead of scooting up, you need to go back. You need to go back in case he messes up. So this isn't only on Connor. It's on everyone else who did not back him up. Right? And obviously, you just pretty much gave him a pizza. And they scored with 3 seconds left. So we feel the pain of that when we screw up. Okay? But clearly, Connor, you didn't learn, right? You got the puck. Now I see some of you do this too. You turn your body and you keep your body between the defender and the puck. That's the easiest way to protect it. And I would just skate it back. Skate it back if you want to beat him. Maybe you move this way, you fake it, you go that way, whatever. But you keep your back to him. I hate when you guys. I know Matthew does this somewhat, and who else? Max does this. Where you guys face them and you do the stick handle, because you're asking to get picked off right there. Right, Hancock, good job going back. D to D. He screwed up. You need to hurry up and stop that breakaway. Right, so we don't think anything of this when it works. We just think, oh, whatever, it worked. Now, let's see what happens after. Okay, so we just lose the puck after. So basically, the reward for dangling this guy one-on-one is that we get to face a one-on-4 after. The risk is coughing it up, and maybe you're on the side, it's not as bad as giving it up, but they might have a second guy that came in. Hold on, maybe a second guy came in, suddenly it's a 2-on-1 leaving Hancock by himself. Maybe it's a 3-on-1. That's the That's the risk. The risk is coughing up a potential breakaway or 2-on-1, 3-on-1. The reward is you beat one guy and you have to go through 4 more. So even if you can do it, and a lot of players do it, it just seems stupid to me. There's no point. Okay. That wraps up this video. Hopefully you guys get something from this. I'll think about them in the breakouts. There's a lot I will have to go over, so just be sure you understand all these parts. Pretty simple stuff, right? Alright, see you in the next video.